I was so curious to try this fragrance because first of all it's Quentin Bisch and second of all my girls hyped this fragrance up. Now let's find out if this fragrance is worth the hype. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bella and this is Bella's Perfume Diaries. If this is your first time stumbling on this channel, Perfume Diaries is a series where we'll talk about perfumes, a sprinkle of beauty and lifestyle. So if this is the kind of content you like, please click that subscribe button and join the family. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in once again. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the latest new release, Teriaq Intense from Quentin Bisch, my favorite perfumer. Earlier this year, he released Teriaq the OG, and recently he released the Teriaq Intense. I'm going to be talking about Teriaq Intense, Teriaq the OG for most of you that have not heard about Teriaq before. And then at the end of the video I'll do a comparison between the two fragrances so you'll be able to know which one is your vibe. So this fragrance was released November this year and they did a whole launch where they invited all the perfume influencers to Paris, a sponsored trip to Paris. I got all my faves over there and most of them got to meet Quentin Bisch, my fave. On today's episode I'm going to be telling you if this fragrance is worth all the hype or not. If you're following me on Instagram, you probably have an idea what my first impression of this fragrance was, but all that has changed because I've had this fragrance for 2 to 3 weeks now and I have a lot to say about it. If you want to know all the details about this fragrance, then keep watching. Now we're going to be starting with the OG Teriaq, which I absolutely love. I did a single review on this fragrance already. I'll link it up here. You can go ahead and binge watch, but I'm going to do like a summary of this fragrance for people that don't know about it to kind of have an idea what it is. I love the way this fragrance sprays out. From the dent of this fragrance, you can already tell how much I love it. It has caramel, bitter almond, and apricot. So the mixture of those three just kind of creates like this sexy fruity cocktail, and then the sweetness from the honey starts to come in. The honey gives it this sweet smoothness that is quite dominant. It also has rhubarb in it. Rhubarb is said to give fragrances this tartness. You can smell that fruity rhubarb in it, but it's not like extremely tart. I think the mixture of those other notes like the bitter almond, apricot, and caramel just subdues the tartness in this fragrance. So it comes off as more of fruity, playful, sweet, sexy, like a very refreshing, sweet, feminine fragrance. Even though it's marketed as a unisex fragrance, I don't necessarily see a man wearing this because it leans more feminine than masculine. It gives me like more of fruity cocktail with that honey sweetness. And then when it starts to dry down, you get that pencil shavings that I think is coming from the leather. So leather is listed in this fragrance, but I will not say this is like leather dominant. The leather in this fragrance comes off to me as pencil shavings, but what is more dominant is that sweet fruity cocktail scent. This fragrance has been compared to La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. I will not say like they are 100% similar. I feel like this would probably come off as a cousin to La Belle as opposed to a sister to La Belle. La Belle is more dominant on the pear, that popcorn sweet note, while this one is more dominant with the apricot, the bitter almond, the caramel, that honey note. But they definitely share a little similarities between them. So this is Teriaq the OG, which I absolutely love because it's a very sophisticated fruity caramel scent that comes off as a fruity caramel cocktail. I know that a lot of people didn't really like the OG Teriaq. I think maybe because of that sharp sweetness. To me, I feel like this fragrance is very sweet. I think now that it has even macerated, the sweetness has mellowed down. But when I got it at first, the sweetness was very sharp. For people that had issues with the sweetness, I don't advise you to overspray because it would come off as sickly sweet. And if you want to enjoy it more, you can also pair it with your other fragrances that are not so sweet, just a little amount, because this fragrance is beast mode. It projects amazingly and it fills up the room. So enough about the OG Teriaq. This video is all about Teriaq Intense, but I just wanted you guys to have an idea what the OG Teriaq is. To me, this leans more feminine. It's like this sexy, feminine, fruity cocktail scent with caramel and honey. So if that is your vibe, OG Teriaq is for you. But if not, let's move over to Teriaq Intense. Now this is Teriaq Intense. I love the bottle. It comes in this black and gold bottle design. So you can already tell that this fragrance is somewhat unisex. It comes in this packaging. I love the black and gold design on it. So there's an outer pack that is quite difficult to remove.
2,000 years later.
A lot of people don't have the patience to take this out and they just tear it, and it gives me a lot of anxiety because so when you open up the outer pack, this is what the inner pack looks like. Such a luxurious packaging. Now when you open up Teriaq Intense, the bottle sits beautifully inside there, actually quite similar to the OG but with a different color. I was so curious to try this fragrance out. First of all, it's Quentin Bisch, and second of all, my girls hyped this fragrance up. Now let's find out if this fragrance is worth the hype. The main accords of Teriaq Intense are amber, warm spicy, cinnamon, vanilla, metallic. The fragrance is described as an oriental spicy fragrance for women. Top notes of this fragrance are saffron and bergamot. Middle notes are plum liqueur and cinnamon. Base notes are amber, tonka bean, and benzoin. This is how it sprays. I actually prefer the atomizer on this more than the OG Teriaq because it has a wider sprayer. Now when you spray this fragrance at first, it opens with a sweet boozy liqueur mixed with vanilla. You get a little bit of benzoin at the top mixed together. This fragrance to me smells like an expensive rum. It's very smooth, very sexy, and then it starts to become spicy, which I guess is coming from the cinnamon. So it has that cinnamon spiciness in this fragrance. It has that boozy vanilla, that liquor rum scent to it as well to give it this rich, sweet, spicy edge. Now the dry down of this fragrance surprises me because it dries down starting to smell like Altair from Perfume Zimali. I don't think anybody has mentioned that this fragrance dries down smelling like Altair by Perfume Zimali, Liquid Brune by Fragrance World. So I don't know if it's just me that is getting that smell at the dry down. Thinking about it, they have similar notes in them. Altair and Perfume Zimali share cinnamon, vanilla, and tonka bean. But what you get in the dry down of this fragrance is a very deep, rich vanilla and tonka bean with a sprinkle of orange blossom. I know orange blossom is not listed here, but that mixture, exactly how Altair's fragrance smells, like that fresh orange blossom, vanilla, tonka bean scent with the spiciness, is exactly how the dry down of Teriaq Intense smells. But to me, I feel like this one is thicker than Altair, so it has like more weight. And I also get patchouli in this fragrance, which is not necessarily listed. I think what they list in this fragrance is woody notes, but what I get is like this patchouli that gives it a little bit of earthiness. I'll describe this fragrance as a rich, spicy, sexy, boozy vanilla scent that is perfectly unisex. A guy would wear this and smell amazing. A lady would wear this and smell amazing. Now, just in case you're not on my Instagram to know what my first impression of this fragrance, to be honest, I was quite disappointed at first when I got this because when I sprayed this fragrance, it was giving me camera. Like it was giving me a DNA that we are used to, and I was hugely disappointed because I expected more because they mentioned plum liqueur. So I just felt like it would be different, but apparently it's like the normal liqueur, cinnamon, most of the notes listed in Camera and Camera Kawa. So I did a comparison between them, Camera, Camera Kawa, and this. When I sprayed Camera is lighter than this, and then I sprayed Camera Kawa because I know Camera Kawa is thicker than the OG Camera, and Camera Kawa was thicker than this. So Camera the OG is lighter than this, and Camera Kawa is thicker than this. So I feel like this fragrance is like a mixture of Camera Kawa and the OG Camera mixed together to create Teriaq Intense. Even though in the core dry down, they start to get like a little bit different, but to me, this is Camera DNA. So I was quite disappointed because I'm like, Lattafa, are you actually duping your own fragrance? From the story of the fragrance, he said that he created this fragrance to remind him of a dessert he used to have when he was younger. So it kind of takes him back to his childhood. That was the inspiration of this fragrance, but unfortunately, it's in the market already. But still, I like it. I absolutely love that Angel share camera DNA. So I'm not mad at it. I'm just disappointed that it's not something groundbreaking or something that we haven't smelled before. But still, it's a beautiful scent. If you don't have camera, if you don't have camera kawa, if you don't have that Angel share DNA, and you need the perfect, sexy, rich, boozy vanilla scent, Teriaq Intense is perfect for you. I feel like this one is going to be more mass appealing than the OG because you just cannot go wrong with this DNA. Now let's do a comparison between Teriaq Intense and the OG Teriaq and which one from these two that I love more. So Teriaq the OG is this sweet caramel, apricot, bitter almond scent that is more feminine, while Teriaq Intense is like this sweet, spicy, rich, boozy vanilla scent that is more unisex. The two fragrances I feel like are sexy fragrances, but this one I feel would be perfect for date night, while this one will be perfect for day dates. So it can also serve as a date night scent too. In terms of projection and longevity, the two fragrances are beast mode, 12 to 16 hours for the two fragrances or even longer. But the differences between the performance on this fragrance is that this one projects more. The Teriaq Intense projects more than the OG Teriaq. But I love both fragrances, and thinking about it, the way I like to enjoy Teriaq Intense is by pairing it with the OG. Like these two together are match made in heaven. Like try this combo and you would come back and testify. This one is a sexy, mass appealing date night scent that if you do not love the OG, you would love this. While this one is for my sweet fragrance girlies that love sweet, fruity cocktail scents, you would love the OG Teriaq by Lattafa. I cannot pick one favorite out of the two because first of all, I love the Angel Share DNA and I just love the two fragrances. I feel like if I'm picking my favorite, it would be these two together. Like these two paired together, my favorite. So that's my thoughts on the new Teriaq Intense from Quentin Bisch, comparing it to the OG Teriaq by Lattafa. Let me know in the comment section which is your favorite from these two. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say Teriaq Intense. But yeah, let me know in the comment section which one you love out of these two, or which one you think you would love out of these two. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of this episode. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, drop your sense of the day in the comment section. I would love to connect with you in the comment section. Thank you guys for tuning to Bella's Perfume Diaries. I'll be seeing you on my next episode. Bye.